okay, his discourse with this Muslim. Okay, the Muslim says Satan tried to mess the message of Allah giving the message Allah mess up with the message Allah gave to the prophet. Is this really true? Let's hear him out and return.
Satan comes and he tries to skewer that message. He tries to mess it up.
Christian Prince asked, okay, it was a very nice question. Was Satan successful in putting his words into the mouth of Muhammad or not? Okay, so the Muslim responded or replied, he wasn't. According to the Muslim, this is exactly what Muslim scholars or Islamic scholars does. Okay, this is what they try their possible best to do always and every time. Okay, sometimes they try their possible best to hide the truth from the addressees. Okay, there's something called takiya. So I don't know if that's exactly what this Muslim is doing over there. Okay, maybe out takiya. You'll have to lie sometimes if possible so as to protect the face of Islam. I greet you, beloved. And once again, I welcome you to Lawson Media. I know for sure that you were waiting for this program. Beloved, perhaps you've been hearing from Christian Prince. You heard the case of Salman Rushdie. Okay, the case he had in regards to the book he authored with the appellation the Satanic verses. The Satanic verses. Okay. I think he got huge problem by authoring this book. But seriously, the book says a lot, and I think most Christian scholars, most Christian apologists has been throwing shades on Islam since time immemorial, and they've been citing the same verse, that is Surah Al-Najm, ayah 19 and 20. Okay, but I don't know what and how Salman Rushdie did his or how he composed this book, and why at all Muslims got alarmed worldwide and they had wanted to even take his life. This was very much uncalled for. It was something cataclysmic. Okay, but you know what? Seriously, Islam claims a lot. Islam makes many assertions, and Muslims do believe that Muhammad was a unique prophet. He is the last and final prophet, and he was given a message to be carried out throughout the centuries. How we get to remain, they say his message never dies, because that's exactly what Allah had, or God had intended for man to get, or man to attain, in order to secure salvation someday. So without the message of Muhammad, none is ever going to secure heaven. But is this really true? Did Muhammad himself know for sure that he was going to be saved via the message that he carried out? Seriously, he never knew of whether he was going to be saved or he wasn't going to be saved. Because when you go to Quran chapter 46 verse number 9, Allah tells Muhammad to tell his addressees that he don't even know for sure whether they're going to be saved or they're not going to be saved. He don't know what is going to happen to them in the future, and he don't know whether he himself is going to be saved or he's not going to be saved. This is exactly what is stipulated in the Quran, and it tells us that Muslims do operate on meritorious law system. You don't know for sure whether you're going to be saved or you're not going to be saved. You don't know of whether those 6 articles of faith and the 6 pillars, or those 5 pillars and those 6 articles of faith are going to save you. Because in Surah Al-Qasas, ayah 68, the Quran puts it point blank that Allah has already predetermined you. He has already predestined you. You don't know, you don't know when you do wrong. You don't know when you do good, because it is by Allah's decree. You does good or you does what is bad. Beloved, a debate, dialogue went on between Christian Prince and this Muslim. How we get to remain? Actually, Christian Prince, he feigns himself. His face isn't on, it doesn't emerge on public screen. How we get to me? So seriously, we're going to help you with some images that that will portray Christian Prince, but we don't know his face. He is very good. He's very good, and he's been debating Muslims throughout the years, and no, he hasn't been defeated ever before, because he knows what he says. He knows the Quran very well. He knows Arabic very well, and he disproves the Quran. He disproves many assertions Muslims make over there. Beloved, shall we take a quick break and we return on the discourse that went on between Christian Prince and this Muslim? You're welcome back, beloved. May God richly bless you. I would love for you to go to the comment section and drop your comments over there. Please help us with your likes, help us with your shares, and all that. Share this program to your loved ones or your contact list. Or we get to me. Tell them there is a very nice program going on over here. And on this show, we present reasonable and logical and thinkable polemics against authentic historic Islam. And we create the awareness that indeed Jesus Christ descended for man's redemption. That's exactly what we're doing over here. Help us with sharing this program. Or we get to me. Tag Christian Prince for me. Tag anyone that you think needs this information. If you've been fed with the information that indeed Islam is genuine or unique and all that through these programs we're doing over here, you're actually going to ascertain a lot about Islam. And also, if you had been believing that Muhammad was a true prophet and he wasn't a satanic prophet, seriously, we do not say stuff and we leave them ajar, but rather we speak with proofs and all that. Christian Prince is going to help us with some proofs. Okay, he's going to give us some tafsir on some Quranic verses, most especially Surah Al-Najm, ayah 20 and 21, okay, ayah 20 and 20, ayah 19 and 20 rather. Okay, this is what has been termed as satanic verse, and Muslim scholars or Islamic scholars try their possible best to massage the Quranic verses. Okay, they try their possible best to massage the Quranic verses. Something is somewhat like what is written in Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 56. This stipulates that Allah do praise, but Islamic scholars says Allah sends blessings instead of the yusaluna. Okay, the actual word used over there is Allah does salah or is-salah or is-saluna. But Islamic scholars trying to massage the Quranic verse and to hide the idea that Allah do praise, because it is very much uncalled for about deity to pray. You see, so they try their possible best to hide the meaning, the actual meaning of yusaluna. That's exactly what they've done to Surah Al-Najm, ayah 19 and 20. They've tampered these verses of the Quran, and surely the tafsir is going to help us to reveal or throw light on what actually Muslims are trying to hide from us. Beloved, when you read Surah Al-Imran, ayah 36, okay, Surah Al-Imran, ayah 36 reports that after Mary's mother had given birth to her, the mother of Mary told Allah, okay, in prayer that Allah, I have named her Mary, and I commend her and her offspring to thy protection from the evil one, the rejected. Okay, when you go by the Tafsir al-Jalalain, okay, Tafsir al-Jalalain states that Allah heeded the prayer of Mary's mother. Okay, her Lord accepted the child. That is, he received Mary from her mother with gracious acceptance and made her grow excellently. Excellently. He made her grow up with excellent character. Jalal 2017, Tafsir on Quran chapter 3, verse number 37, and comment also when you go to Ali 2006, Quran chapter 3, verse number 37, number 379. Okay, they gives a comment on this Quranic verse, okay, this verse of the Quran, this surah and ayah of the Quran, and they tell us for sure that indeed when Mary's mother prayed, Allah accepted, or Allah heeded her prayer, and Allah caused Mary to grow graciously. Okay, so the Quran tells us that indeed Mary was a gracious woman, she was a virtuous woman, and she was a woman of good morals, not that, and the Quran records no sin or no evil about Mary. Okay, Muslims teaches the immaculate nature of Mary, and one thing that pops up whenever they make this kind of argument is that Muslims do say that everybody was born Muslim. I'll be get to me. So therefore, none is already a sinner. There isn't anything like original sin. They do this, or they do stipulate this just to blot out the idea that Jesus Christ came to die for all, because we were all originally sinners via Adam and Eve. Okay, but if indeed everybody was born Muslim and none is ever originally sinner, why do you keep on teaching the immaculate nature of, or the immaculate life of Mary? Why do you tell us Mary was sinless and blah blah blah? Because already you say everybody is not a sinner, everybody is sinless. Okay, because everyone was born Muslim, because there isn't anything like original sin. You see, this contradicts the idea of original sin. The idea is that there isn't anything like original sin. Well, let's proceed. And again, talking about the satanic verses. Okay, talking about the satanic verses, I'm going to give you a hadith that says that indeed Muhammad had been influenced by Satan. In fact, Satan was able to chip into his recitations, okay, and his commands. He was telling the Arabians, or his followers, the Islamic Ummah, on what to do and what not to do, the practices and what they were to practice and what they were not to practice. Hope we get to remain. But while doing this, Satan was able to chip into what he was saying, his own words. And Muhammad indeed didn't recognize or didn't note, or Allah wasn't able to prompt Muhammad on what he was telling his people, but he just left him ajar, and Muhammad was able to influence the Quraysh tribe to go by those satanic verses. And surely he recommended the intercession of these three daughters of Allah. And Muhammad warranted the idea that these ones could also be worshipped alongside Allah. Okay, so later on, Muslims, Islamic scholars got to know that this is very much uncalled for. Okay, it is not right for that to remain in the Quran, and for that matter, they are trying their possible best to just do away with what actually was written in Surah Al-Najm, ayah 19 and 20. But the original text has it. How we get to me? Originally, Muhammad stipulated that indeed those Al-Manat, Al-Uzza, and Al-Lat, these ones were the three daughters of Allah, and they could be worshipped alongside Allah. Islamic scholars tried their possible best to massage this. Well, let me give you this hadith before we get on to Christian Prince and his dialogue with, or his discourse with the Muslim. How we get to remain. Okay, according to this hadith, I'm going to give you Sahih al-Bukhari. This is Sahih, okay, authentic book in Islam, authentic tradition, okay. It gives records in regards to the prophetic sunnah, or the actions, the sayings, and the doings of Muhammad. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 3286, and also hadith number 3431. Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2366 A and C. Okay, let me help you with this hadith. Okay, this hadith says that okay, let me I'm coming. Okay. This is the bibliography and the footnote. Okay, this is the bibliography and the footnote. Sahih Muslim, Sahih Muslim, hadith number 162C and 163, and also Al-Tabari, 1999, number 275 and up to 282. Okay, well, this is the book. Okay, when you read from these books, okay, from these hadiths, it is reported, Anas bin Malik reported that Gabriel came to the messenger of Allah while he was playing with his playmates. He took hold of him, okay, and lay him prostrate. Okay, he lay him prostrate like that on the ground, and he tore open his breast and took out, okay, the heart. Okay, he took out the heart from from it. Okay, he took out the heart from the place where it is with the what is it from it, and then he extracted the blood clot out of it, and said, that was the part of Satan in thee. And then he washed it with the water of Zamzam in a golden basin, and then it was joined together and restored to its place. Okay, when you go through, if you go through these books I've given you, Sahih Muslim, Hadith number 162C and also 163, and also Al Tabari, 1999 books. The pages are the 275 up to 82. Okay, according to this. These traditions, Muhammad was playing one day with his playmates, okay, and angel Gabriel, Jibril, all of a sudden appeared, and he laid hold of Muhammad, and he put him down, okay, prostrated, and he tore open his breast, okay, and he took the heart from its place. Okay, after taking the heart from its place, he took from that place some blood clot, and he told Muhammad, this is what actually Satan was hiding in your heart. Okay, it has been there, so we don't know how many days, how many years had it been there, had it been kept there. Was it already there prior to the advent of Muhammad's encounter with the Gabriel, or the so-called spirit that revealed the Quran to him? You see, so if in case this was already within Muhammad, and he had been producing a lot of stuffs, and he had been claiming that they were the revelation given him by Allah from Gabriel, how can we be sure that the Quran you are holding today isn't a satanic book? Okay, how can you be sure that the Quran you're holding today isn't a satanic book? Well, Christian Prince is going to help us with this. Shall we return to Christian Prince, okay? His discourse with this Muslim. Okay, the Muslim says Satan tried to mess the message of Allah giving, the message Allah, mess up with the message Allah gave to the prophet. Is this really true? Let's hear him out and return.
Satan comes and he tries to skewer that message. He tries to mess it up.
So according to the Muslim, it isn't that Satan was able to cast his words into onto the tongue of Muhammad. And for that matter, Muhammad came out with those stuff that Satan had wanted for him to produce. Okay, so that's exactly what the Muslim is trying to say. So it is akin to saying that what we're saying isn't true. That perhaps Muhammad produced produced what actually Satan had wanted for the curious tribe to hear from him. Okay, but rather Satan tried to do that, but perhaps it wasn't successful, or it didn't happen. But this isn't true. Let's listen to Christian Prince. He puts a question to the Muslim, and it is very much interesting.
Only, or he put really, Did he really put, or he tried only?
Huh?
Was he successful to put in the mouth of Muhammad?
No,
did Muhammad speak?
Of course not.
Okay, read with me. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain.
So Christian Prince asked, okay, it was a very nice question. Was Satan successful in putting his words into the mouth of Muhammad or not? Okay, so the Muslim responded or replied, he wasn't. According to the Muslim, this is exactly what Muslim scholars or Islamic scholars does. Okay, this is what they try their possible best to do, always and every time. Okay, sometimes they try their possible best to hide the truth from the addressees. Okay, there's something called takia. So I don't know if that's exactly what this Muslim is doing over there. Okay, maybe out takia. You'll have to lie sometimes if possible, so as to protect the face of Islam. Okay, but in front of Christian Prince, in front of a Christian apologist, serious Christian apologist, you cannot be able to lie. Okay, and this one also knows well the Arabic, they knows well the Quran as well. I'll be getting with me. Okay, so Christian Prince placed the question: do you really want to say that Satan tried but wasn't able, or was Muhammad really influenced by Satan? Was Satan able to cast into the words of Muhammad that of his? The Muslim responded, no, he wasn't able to do that. Well, let's go to watch this video again. okay, let's go there to watch another portion of their discourse. Okay, Christian Prince said, read Tafsir al-Jalalain. So he displayed, okay, he projected, he displayed the tafsir is emerging on your screen, and you're going to see the Muslim is going to do this reading. Let's hear him out and return.
Okay, read with me. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain, please.
And we did not send before you any messenger. This is a prophet who has been commanded to deliver a message, one who has not been commanded to deliver anything, but that when he recited the scripture, Satan cast into his recitation what is not from the Quran, but which those to whom he, the prophet, had been sent would find pleasing. The prophet had, during an assembly of the men of the Quraysh, after reciting the following verses from Surah Al-Najm, have you considered Manat, the third one, had as a result of Satan casting them into his tongue without the prophets being aware of it. The following words, those are the high-flying cranes. Okay, indeed their intercession is to be hoped for. So they, the men of the Quraysh, were thereby delighted. However, later informed him the prophets of this that Satan cast onto his tongue, and he was grieved by it. Okay, what is this from?
This is a Jalalain. So Shaitan, he cast on the...
So this is, a tafsir on Surah Al-Najm, ayah 19 and 20. Okay, that is Quran chapter 53, verse number 19 and 20. Okay, the Muslim is going to help us with the reading. So let's hear him out. He's doing the reading.
The tongue of your prophet, he cast satanic verses. And then Jibreel, he said to him, he came to him after. Jibreel, however, later informed him, the prophet, of that Satan had cast into his tongue, and he was grieved by it. Do you see it? So you said to me, he tried to tempt.
What's that?
You said to me,
19 to 20. What is that there?
What?
50 right there, right after it says Al-Utsa and Manat, the third one.
Yeah,
it says 53, 19 to 20. What's that from?
This is different. The chapter of An-Najm. So your prophet was reciting chapter.
Can you go to it?
No problem, but let's stay here first.
You see, so according to the tafsir, okay, according to Tafsir al-Jalalain, okay, according to the Tafsir al-Jalalain on Surah Al-Najm, ayah 53, Surah Al-Najm, ayah 19 and 20, indeed, Satan was able to cast into the words of Muhammad, okay, so therefore he produced the satanic verses. You get that? So it isn't like Satan tried but wasn't, but he actually got hold of Muhammad. Okay, he was able to cast his words into the words of Muhammad, and his words were also Quranic verses. So we don't know for how long was Muhammad influenced by Satan. For how long had he been producing these words? Okay, how can we be sure that from Surah Al-Fatiha up to the last surah of the Quran were from Satan? How can you be sure as a Muslim? Okay, because Muhammad was influenced by Satan. Okay, he has the influence of Satan. Satan used him. Okay, Satan through him produced his word, his message. Satan through him sent message to the Quraysh tribe or to the Ummah or to the Islamic Ummah. How can you be sure that the Quran is from God? How can you be sure that Muhammad isn't a satanic prophet? How can you be sure that indeed your belief in Muhammad as being authentic or genuine prophet is true?
No, let's go to that.
Chapter of An-Najm, you can go, that have nothing to do with this, because supposedly this is taken from there. He's reciting to you that he was reciting An-Najm when this happened in this verse. That's all. There's no point of reading that verse. I mean, he did read it for you. It says, while he was reading that, do you consider the Lat and Al-Manat and Al-Uzza and Manat the third? Then this is chapter 53, verse 19 and 20. He added, as a result of Shaitan casting them into his tongue without the prophet being aware of the following words. So Muhammad said that by his tongue. Those are the high-flying crayons of Al-Gharaniq, Al-Ula. They are the high goddess, and indeed their intercession is hoped for. So your prophet in this moment he worshipped the three daughters of Allah, and he ordered his followers, including the whoever watching, that it's a must to ask them to intercede to Allah because they are his daughters. You said to me, oh, you know that he tried, this is temptation, he tried to give me example, but this is not what happened.
Scroll down a little bit.
And by the way, just to show you how the Muslim they lie, I'm not talking about you now. The Ibn Kathir in Arabic is totally different from Ibn Kathir in English. They took the whole story off. If I show you right now Ibn Kathir in Arabic for the same story.
After reading the tafsir, the Muslim is speechless. Okay, so what are you going to do right now? Your own books do affirm that indeed Muhammad was influenced by Satan. Indeed, Satan was able to cast into the words of Muhammad his own words. And for that matter, Muhammad produced the satanic message, these satanic verses. And they are in the Quran. Okay? In this surah and ayah, Muhammad was telling Muslims to all bow down to the three daughters of Allah. He was asking of whether they had whether Muslims has considered these three daughters of Allah. Do you always pray to Allah? Do you always seek for peace from Allah? Do you always seek for fertilization from Allah? Do you always pray for help from Allah? No, you shouldn't always to do that. Have you also considered the three daughters of Allah? Okay, have you also confronted Manat, Al-Uzza, and Allat? Okay, you shouldn't always go to Allah. This is what Muhammad is telling Muslims. Okay, they are also able to intercede for you. If you want any intercession, you can go to them. They can also help you out. They can also help you worship them. So Muhammad himself bowed down to these so-called three daughters of Allah. Okay, Muhammad bowed down to these idols, these goddesses, and he is recommending them. He is recommending their intercessory power for Muslims as well. He's telling his addresses to also all bow down to these three goddesses. You get that? So Christian Prince says Satan was successful by so doing. Thus, this Muslim. Okay, so let's watch him. Let's watch him, and let's watch this portion of their program and return.
You will see how the Muslims in the translation into English, they deleted the whole story. It's not there. So now what do you say, my friend? Did your prophet receive satanic verses and he did not notice?
What is this? What is this? Can you go up to the top? Don't go down so I can read more. Go up to the top. What is this?
This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. This is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan and not my website. Here, if you go down, it says this is a translation of Firas Hamza, Tafsir al-Jalalain, by the Royal of Ahlul Bayt Institute, which means that the Family of Muhammad Institute of the Islamic Thought, Amman, Jordan. All right. This is an official Islamic government website. Now, as you see here, your prophet received satanic verses, and now here we want to ask you a question. As long we came to the conclusion that this is really what happened, how we can trust Muhammad that he is not a satanic prophet?
You see, it is true. It is true. The Tafsir reveals that indeed Muhammad was influenced by Satan. Satan was successful in casting into the words of Muhammad. Okay, so therefore he caused the Islamic Ummah to bow down or to worship other gods apart from Allah. Muhammad associated compeers with Allah. Therefore Muhammad committed the great sin in Islam, shirk. Or we get to me, he committed a great sin in Islam. Allah wasn't able to pinpoint to Muhammad that these are my words and these are the words of Satan. So if Satan was able to get access to Muhammad, okay, Satan was able to get into Muhammad, okay, his words, and Allah was using the same conduit, the same vessel. Allah was sharing Muhammad with Satan. Satan was sharing Muhammad with Allah. Okay, Allah had his portion in the Quran, and Muhammad also, Satan also had his portion. So the Quran that you have in today came from both Allah and Satan. Okay, the Quran you having today was given to Muhammad by both Allah and Satan. How do you know? How do you determine the portion that belongs to Allah and the portion that belongs to Satan? Okay, you see the kind of book you are holding. You see the kind of book you are holding. Okay, shall we proceed? Okay, shall we proceed? The Muslim, in trying to protect the face of Islam or Islamic orthodoxy, he's saying it isn't true. So he tells, trying to defend, he asks of whether the source Christian Prince made him read it was authentic or not. So let's hear him out and return.
Well, see, you're showing me this here. I got to do some more research on this, but
we did research already. Here we go. I mean, did you do research more than Jalalain? I mean, are you saying to me that you are more scholar than a Jalalain?
I'm just saying.
Okay, let us go by the story in front of us. Until you find me, my friend. Until you find me, until you do your study. For now, the story in front of us, based on this, how we can trust Muhammad to be a prophet of Allah, if Allah is God, not a prophet of Shaitan. If he admit that this was not from his God, this is from Shaitan, and then the angel came to him and he says to him, according to Muhammad, you see, Allah said, Muhammad said, we have no witnesses. The only witnesses we have, according to the story, people, they saw Muhammad praising the 3 daughters of Allah. Now, because of that, Muhammad, he been exposed, he got busted. The danger here.
Okay, so Christian Prince also reads the tafsir where it explains that Satan casted those satanic verses onto his tongue without Muhammad's notice. Okay, so indeed, Satan was able to influence Muhammad. He was able to cast into the words of Muhammad his own words. You get that? Muhammad worshipped the 3 goddesses and even recommended their intercessions for Muslims as well. Let's listen to Christian Prince and return.
Here is not only Shaitan, he did not tempt Muhammad. Shaitan, he spoke by the tongue of Muhammad. How that can be? I will give an answer. I will give an answer to prove to you that Muhammad is a satanic prophet. Read with me carefully what we will show you in the screen. The Quran said that Shaitan has no authority except those who follow him. Shaitan have no authority over Muslims except those who follow Shaitan. Do you see?
Hold on, English. You mean English?
Yeah. So what the verse saying here? You have Allah speaking to Shaitan, saying to him, you have no authority over my slaves. Who is the slaves of Allah? Anyone who believe in him, correct? The Muslims. Okay. Except those who follow thee. So Shaitan, he have no power over Muhammad unless Shaitan and Muhammad are friends and Muhammad is following thee. That's problem here. That's disgusting.
You see, so Christian Prince asks again, so what do you say, my friend? He finally asked the Muslim, what do you say, my friend? Did your prophet receive or did not receive satanic verses? Okay, the Muslim is speechless. He cannot answer this question. Did your prophet receive or he didn't receive satanic verses? The answer is yes. Muhammad received satanic verses. He received verses from Satan. Therefore, there are verses within the Quran belonging to Satan, ascribing to Satan or attributing to Satan. And there are verses in the Quran allegedly attributing to Allah or ascribing or being ascribed to Allah. Which is which? Which portion of the Quran belongs to Satan and which portion of the Quran belongs to Allah? Okay, which portion? And I know you coming to comment, okay, you will comment under the comment section by telling me that it isn't true. That isn't what was written over there. But Christian Prince helps us out by saying Islamic scholars have tried their possible best over the years, over the centuries to disconnect the idea that indeed Allah, Satan caused, Muhammad was giving satanic verses and all that. So they tried their possible best to change the rhythm of what actually Quran chapter 53 verse number 19 and 20 says. Okay, Christian Prince says Muslims changes the actual message. They deleted the whole story. Let's hear him out and return.
That's crazy.
No, I see where you can see a problem there, but
are like more reasonable than the rest. You try to
I'm trying.
You try to hide the stuff, but you are still, you have some honesty on you. I feel it. Now I'm asking you, The verse in front of you, it's very clear. It says, you have no authority. No
the only
authority.
thing I could see is that he's not following him, because that's the whole point. He's not
Hold
following
on.
him.
No. The other verse proved to us that he's following him, because you have no authority over my slaves except those who follow thee. How Shaitan was able to control the tongue of Muhammad? The verse here saying that Shaitan have no authority over anyone who is a normal Muslim. What about someone he is a prophet of Allah? So you have no authority over my slaves. You have no power except only those who follow thee, not tempted by thee. They follow. So here Muhammad, in order to be under the authority of Shaitan, he have to be from one who follow thee. If the Quran is the book of God and God is saying the truth.
Okay, so Christian Prince asked this final question, and of course that's exactly what I'm also asking. He says, how can we trust your prophet? If you're a Muslim listening to me, Christian Prince asked this question: how can we trust your prophet Muhammad, that he was not a satanic prophet? How? Okay, the how. The way by which we are going to be able to trust the idea that Muhammad wasn't a satanic prophet. Put it under the comment section for us. Let us know why and how we are not to accept or accede to the fact that Muhammad was a satanic prophet. And my question is, how at all was Satan and Allah using Muhammad? How at all were they using the same vessel to produce their message, or to carry out their message outside there to the Muslims? Okay, because it is evidenced in this discourse Christian Prince had with this Muslim, and also it is evidenced from Quran chapter 53 verse number 19 and 20 that indeed Satan was able to cast into the words Allah had given to Muhammad, and surely Muhammad produced these words, this message, or he carried out this message, and surely the Quraysh tribe were pricked to also worship these idols alongside Muhammad. Okay, so Muhammad worshipped these goddesses, 3 goddesses by length with the Quraysh tribe. Okay, so how at all were both Satan and Allah using Muhammad in producing or carrying out their message? How can you determine of whether this part of the Quran belongs to Allah and this part of the Quran belongs to Satan? How do you do that? Because you don't know which portion of the Quran belongs to Satan and which portion of the Quran belongs to Allah. May God richly bless you. We're helping you out. We do not hate any Muslim, but rather we just want you reason with us. Okay, reason with us on your own verses, your own surahs and ayahs. Okay, Christian Prince has been debating Muslims throughout the century, and I'm recommending this book for you, Deception of Allah, volume 1 and volume 2. Okay, if you really want to get these books seriously, they're going to help you. If you really want to study about Islam, these books are there to help you. Okay, and I'm going to recommend many books on the show for you, and they're going to help you out if you really want to study about Islam, so as to be able to ascertain for sure if Islam is from God or it isn't from God, if the Quran is from God or it isn't from God. May God richly bless you. Share it with everybody. Make sure to help us with your likes and your comments under the comment section. Help us with your subscription as well. Please make sure to help us to throw light on these false assertions that have been made throughout the centuries by Muslims. Okay, and the sin that has been orchestrating since time immemorial in your minds that indeed Islam is so much radical, and for that matter, you're not going to be able to waste your time on assessing their issues and all that. No, it is not going to help. Okay, it is going to drench our people into hell. We love them. Is that reason we present these kind of stuffs over here on the show. We don't hate any Muslim. Greetings to you, Uncle Sam of Ghana House. Okay, Uncle Sam of Toronto, Canada, Church of Christ, and also Mom Esther Anim, that is Samuel Asamoah of Toronto, Canada, Pasti or Mr. Williams, and Mr. Daniel Dankwash and Shen of Palermo, Church of Christ, Italy, Mr. Du, Canada. May God richly bless you all for supporting this program. And also greetings to you, Mr. Joseph Nimakon Jr. and Senior, Lekro, Church of Christ, Ahensai. May God richly bless you for sharing the program for us. At the comment section there, Nana of Usubins and Nana Offer and all the rest of you, may God richly bless you and help us with your comments over there. Shall we meet once again? Bye-bye.